There is absolutely no way that they're going to turn around, because if you look at what's happening, if you watch the Fourth Age, if you look at what's happening, what happened to Marvel Comics, how Marvel Comics was completely destroyed.
Always on the move.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. This is the Fanatics of Film, and my name is Ben. I don't usually get the jump on these, but this is pretty would be normally a pretty exciting news. As a matter of fact, I'll give you my reaction if Disney wasn't running this. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I'm sure you all know, of course, Obi-Wan might be returning. This is something that was teased to us for so many months, and then finally they broke ground on Tatooine just before they were canceled, or they decided to remove it because they assumed that there was Star Wars fatigue. That's why they pulled the original crew from the breaking ground on Tatooine originally, from what we gather from what was reported. It's that all of that is just absolutely silly, and we all know this. And I wanted to talk about that real quick. So the timing, for me particularly, is very interesting because, of course, they're trying to beef up. They're trying to get people excited about Star Wars again, to try to beef up the numbers for Episode 9. And I understand that. That's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to be strategic now. But it's like, after all this time, you're trying to be strategic. Like, after all of this ridiculous, horrible planning and just fatal destruction, just all-out, complete disregard for everything, and constantly letting everything fall by the wayside, letting all of us fall by the wayside, and all of that happening in this period of time. And then, having to, make these corrections here and there. It's just so bizarre. The important thing to recognize here is that with Kenobi possibly coming back, with this being an actual thing that might actually happen, of course I would be much more for the idea of a series, not a film, of course, because you get more of Obi-Wan, you get more time spent with him, you get more time spent with Ewan McGregor as the charming badass that he was in the prequels. And if you are an Obi-Wan Kenobi fan, if you are a Ewan McGregor fan, and you have not seen Season 3 of Fargo, I dare you to watch that. It's a fantastic show, and Ewan McGregor plays two brothers who are not the same age, and it's extraordinary. They're not even twins, they're not even twin brothers. He plays two brothers who are of completely different walks of life and completely different backgrounds. It's an interesting story, and it's one of my favorite pieces of television, period. I love the Fargo series. If you haven't had a chance, check it out. Exclusive, Ewan McGregor signs on for Obi-Wan Kenobi Return. This is coming from an originally Cineflix, but at least it looks like Screen Rant's got it now and everybody else has it. After a lot of rumors and high hopes, high hopes, it looks like the Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars project is taking a big step forward. Come in for our report. Today's report won't likely come as a surprise to many people, but it is nice to hear. Rumors of an Obi-Wan Kenobi related project have been circulating since Disney bought the Lucasfilm back in 2013. Of course, all of us were clamoring for it, and there was no ever acknowledgement to it, because all the people at all the story group at Lucasfilm were concerned about other things rather than bringing us the things that would probably make the most sense. While back in 2013, while it seemed to have started life as a standalone film, of course, as they broke ground in Tatooine before, recent reports are that we'll see Obi-Wan come back as a Disney Plus series, and of course that was obvious. Ewan McGregor has actually put pen to paper and inked a contract to return as the iconic Jedi Master. This shouldn't come as a surprise considering how open Ewan McGregor has been. Of course he has been. He was actually rather surprised, though. He's expressed several times in these interviews that, like, why is everybody so obsessed with Star Wars? To him it's like it's okay. It's a thing that, it did. However, it did escalate his career exponentially. So for whatever that's worth. According to the two separate sources. Again, this shouldn't come as a surprise considering how McGregor has been in his desire to return to the Star Wars franchise. What's interesting to me, however, is the timing. While a development on the Obi-Wan project has been in early stages since the beginning of this year, according to other reports, locking in a contract means they're really moving forward on it. It may not be outside the realm of possibility that they were eager to get the contract signed now in order to make some sort of announcement for the show, much like Marvel signed up. And so we'll get probably an official confirmation at D23. Now let's read some of the Slash Film article here about Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor has signed on for Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney+. Earlier this year, there was rumblings of the possible Obi-Wan Kenobi series coming together for Disney+. Word on the street was that the series came together from an idea that was originally intended to be a movie, but after Solo, a Star Wars story, ended up being a disappointment at the box office. Disney and Lucasfilm streaming series was a little less risky. An Obi-Wan Kenobi project has been rumored for a long time now, and one of the rumors even said that a whole trilogy of films could focus on the Jedi Master, and that's what they had said originally, but there's no way they'll do that. There's no way that they will do that. Too much white male material. Even said that the whole trilogy of films could be focused on the Jedi Master. That would be plenty of fuel for an Obi-Wan Kenobi series, but we're not sure how sprawling the story is meant to be. Another interesting note, there was a rumor a while back that Obi-Wan Kenobi might end up appearing in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. But if the Jedi does appear in the movie, perhaps it would be a tease of what's to come in a possible series that fills in some of the gaps between The Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. I know why that they took so long to get this thing rolling, because they knew that they couldn't kill him and it wouldn't work with canon. They knew that they couldn't kill him off. Knew they couldn't kill the character off and destroy him, because his character shows up in A New Hope. And so if they're going to show a film that takes place before A New Hope to have Obi-Wan in the series, there is absolutely no way that they could kill him, and that's why they hesitated on it, because they do want to kill off all the white male characters. Another interesting note, Ewan McGregor has long been keen to reprise on the role of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, he would be excited about it, but he wasn't that. I mean, if they gave him a call, if this is real, if this is true, then he would be excited about it. But based on the interviews that I've seen, he's actually more nonchalant than all of this is said. At least, I'm sure he goes back and forth, and from time to time, I'm sure he has different perspectives on different days. But some of the interviews that I saw, he was very just, I don't know why anybody cares about Star Wars so much. I don't know. It wasn't that great. I don't know. It was just some gig I had that elevated my career. These are all cool. I mean, this is okay, but you have to think about who is at Lucasfilm right now. That's the thing that we have to really consider here. According to some rumors...
This was on Jordan Mason's Twitter. Interesting tidbit of information has crossed my desk this weekend. This is a rumor, and yet with the failure of Galaxy's Edge and Disney's trip to the galaxy far, far away being a dismal adventure, this has a tinge of truth. Just take it with a grain of salt. Item 1. Bob Iger recently called an emergency meeting with Kennedy and Lucasfilm. Why? Item 2, the meeting was a shout fest. People yelling at each other. Really horrible BTW. Item 3, Kathleen Kennedy virtually castrated Pablo Hidalgo. Impossible. And Kathleen Kennedy said this, paraphrasing, if you didn't have balls, you could do your job. Item number 4, both Favreau and Filoni threatened to leave Lucasfilm and Disney. Why? Kennedy's leadership and Iger. Item 5, execs at Disney do not understand why Kennedy has not been let go yet and are convinced that she has some dirt on Iger.
You know, Filoni and Favreau have both said that they threatened to leave Lucasfilm because of the leadership, and these are just speculative. You know, these are just speculation. These are just rumors. These are just ideas, things that possibly could be happening. We have no idea. But if those things are true, if you know, they're literally only keeping her on because of her gender, and that's the only reason why the Kathleen Kennedy has a job still is because of her gender, then that's a huge problem. And that's what's happening here. I'm going to put this on screen now here. I'm going to show, these are the people that you have. These are the people that are going to be writing this, or at least behind the idea of it. And Favreau had to write 3 episodes of The Mandalorian before even presenting, because he knew what kind of lash or backlash thereof, or whatever, what kind of reactions he would get to his writing, or he wanted to get those 3 episodes under the belt before they dismantled it or modified it in such a way. And this is something that I've recently detached myself from. I've had to protect myself, to protect each other. We have to fight for each other in this whole thing, and this is just ridiculous. The entire concept of everything has been destroyed. My entire ability to trust in Disney Lucasfilm has been destroyed. My ability to actually care and get up the gumption to actually trust them has been removed. It's been removed from my ability to even fathom. So at this point, I don't know what to say. I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. He is my favorite part of the prequels. I absolutely loved him loved Ewan McGregor. I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's one of my favorite. Next to Luke Skywalker, he's my favorite. He's always been my favorite on these. So anyway, I don't have confidence in it. If Favreau is going to be behind it, or at least involved in it, great. If one of these feminist directors is writing, you bet your ass that we will see Obi-Wan be the guest star of his own show, as Gary of Nerdrotic has said so many times. That we're going to see this. We're going to see Obi-Wan be a side character in his own show, in his own TV show, and it's going to be the most powerful woman in the world that will be the main character, just like what's happening to Picard. And it's just crazy. It's crazy with what's happening here. And I was talking about this the other day, and it's like, if they had just dealing with, when we're talking about the percentage, and Lucas, this whole thing going around, this rumor about percentages and how Lucas could be taking 25% of the original trilogy content, or original character content. That's something that is very interesting and a very highly possible, highly probable. However, I'm not ruling it out that's not the case, because I think that they are still just fulfilling their agenda. I think they still have an agenda, and as the agenda is propelled forward, I really think that that even if this one piece of information hadn't been let out or whatever, or wasn't true, that I think that it's more likely that that it's just their agenda. I think that I'm actually leaning towards that it's more than likely the agenda. I don't know. I could be wrong.